Hey YouTube, Sandy Frank here. Today's episode of Hobby Talk, I wanted to talk about, this is a Pokemon subject, and it's about single cards, and it's about the card of an era. So, I think as each generation of Pokemon comes and goes, there's always that iconic card of that entire era, like the old school first generation Pokemon sets. Obviously, the card of that era was the base set Charizard Hollow. Just people always remember that card. Everybody wanted to collect it. It was the card to get out of that era. And then you look at let's see, like the EX generation. Man, probably the card of that era. Wow, I would probably have to put it as the Charizard Gold Star from Dragon Frontiers. Um, the card. So, as you can tell, back in the older eras, Charizard definitely dominated those eras. What about the Diamond and Pearl era? What would have been the top dog card of that era? Um, that one is a little more tricky to think. I'm trying to think of. It probably have to be one of the level X cards because the level X cards were kind of like the rare pulls from back then. And I would say I know the Charizard is not the most sought after. I might have to say the Gengar level X card might be the card from that era. Um, I know it's worth a lot, and I don't know. Just my gut feeling is that was probably the card of that era. I really don't feel like it was the Charizard. Um, I mean, there was the Charizard Secret Rare from Stormfront. That was a great card, but I would probably have to go with one of the level X's, and that one is the one that's kind of like making me think that that was the big one right there. All right, so moving on to the Black and White era. The card of that era, without a doubt, okay, that one's the easy pick. The Plasma Storm Secret Rare Charizard, Shiny Charizard. That one was the big card of that era. And back then, if you look at those sets, that if you could pick one card out of all those sets, that was the card to get. Incredibly tough to pull, beautiful card. Everybody wanted it, and that was one of the big sets from that era. So then, moving on to the XY era, what would have been the big card from XY? Man, I'm trying to think. I don't think it was the Charizard X or whatever from the Mega Charizard from the Flash Fire set, because I think there were more sought after cards after that. Let's see. Guys, in the comments, please put down below what you guys think were the big cards of these different eras. Let's see. I'm thinking maybe. I mean, the Charizard from Evolutions, the Mega Charizard EX, was pretty sought after, but they made so much Evolutions that it might not be considered like the ultimate card from that era. I know there's some Mega Rayquazas from like Roaring Skies and Ancient Origins are like incredibly expensive as PSA 10s. I mean, the Evolutions Charizard Hollow in a PSA 10 is like, those were so tough to grade. That one could get it, maybe. But I feel like it should go to a Mega card. A full art Mega card. I know a lot of people really enjoy um, the Mega Gengar EX, but it didn't have a full art Mega. There's a Dialga full art from Phantom Forces that is very sought after. But man, that is a really tough one. There's a lot of good candidates, but it's really tough to hone in on one card that was like the card of the era. Where other eras, it's really easy to do that. I'd probably put it at I might go the full art Gengar EX. Just because that is a card that I was never able to get, and looking at the price of those now, this is so expensive for that card. I mean, it's not a mega card, but it is a full art Gengar EX. I'll go with that one. And then a close second might be the Mega Charizard EX from Evolutions full art, and then maybe those Rayquazas from the Mega Rayquazas from Roaring Skies and Ancient Origins. Those were incredibly nice too. Okay, I'm probably forgetting an obvious one there though. Okay, so then you move to Sun and Moon. It's much easier to remember these because they are so recent. I mean, clearly, the big card from Sun and Moon era is the Latios and Latios alternate art from Team Up. Just a monster card. It's been selling for 5 figures now in PSA 10. Beautiful art. We got to see the alternate art era ushered in. I think the very first alternate art card was the Mewtwo from Shining Legends. Another real strong contender for the card of the era. Maybe the one that most people were chasing back then was the Shiny Charizard from Full Art GX from Hidden Fates. But as far as when people look back on the Sun and Moon era, they're going to remember the tag team alternate art cards and Mewtwo. But I'll go with the Latios and Latios tag team full art card. Just incredible card, very tough to pull, incredibly low pop. If someone could just pick out one card they want from that area, it's going to probably be that one. Most people. Moving on to the Sword and Shield era. This is a no-brainer also. Probably the easiest one to pick out of all of them, maybe besides Black and White. That secret rare Shiny Charizard from Plasma Storm. The Sword and Shield era brought us Moonbreon. That's without a doubt the big card from Sword and Shield era. There's other big cards, don't get me wrong. The Giratina Giratina V alternate art card with the Conda art is way up there too. But you have to go with Moonbreon from Evolving Skies. That card changed the Pokemon chasing era. It brought Pokemon from, yeah, Pokemon's cool, to, oh my gosh, I have got to get this card. Ah, here's the set it came from. Right here. We have a booster box of it right there. The Moonbreon, I mean, I've never pulled it. I bought a raw one from Cardinal Gaming, and they are awesome. I bought it way back when it was at its low. I really lucked out and hit the low point of that. I think I paid $200 for it, near mint. I got it, looked perfect, sent it in. I have it today still as a PSA 10. Just a huge card. Everybody that collects in this era wants that card. Alright, now that we're done with the Scarlet and Violet era, I'm going to go ahead and crown what I think is the card of the era. I think there's several good candidates, and we'll talk about those cards. But there's one I'm pretty sure is going to stand alone, and being the card of the era, it is going to be always sought after. And I never had one till this week. In fact, it came in the mail today. So I'm going to go ahead and show you my pick for the card of the era. And first, I'll list off the candidates. Okay, to me, the candidates are the Magikarp from Paldea Evolved. Just an illustration rare, but beautiful art. People have been going after that card heavily. It is a strong contender for a card of the era. It would be weird that Magikarp would be the card of the era, but maybe that's what the one I settle on. Other candidates, you'd have to say, you know, the Charizard special illustration rare from 151. That one should be way up there. You've got the Charizard special illustration rare from the shiny Charizard special illustration rare from Paldean Fates. You have the Bubble Mew from Paldean Fates special illustration rare. You have the Greninja EX special illustration rare from Twilight Masquerade. You've got the Pikachu special illustration rare from Surging Sparks. A lot of really strong candidates here. You've got the Zekrom and Reshiram hyper rare, like the black and the white cards from the White Flare and Black Bolt sets. Those Victinis, those red Victinis, they have to be considered in that same breath, I think. Let's see, what is there? Some other good candidates. Oh yeah, the Rocket's Mewtwo from Destined Rivals, the special illustration rare of that set. Yeah, lots of really strong cards. But there's been one that I think people are really honing in on lately, and it is definitely separating itself as far as price is concerned, and like desirability, and it is this one. I am crowning, at least the Sandy Frank crown of the card of the Scarlet and Violet era is the Bubble Mew. And I'll tell you why, for a few reasons. It's people love this card. It's instantly recognizable. It's got a fantastic art. This art may not be everyone's style, but it definitely it just screams Pokemon card. You got these effects with the texture here with this Bubble Mew just like radiating out this bubble like a bright shiny day. Just a great illustration, and it's a shiny Mew, which is a rare version of a Mew. Just a beautiful card. You have other Pokemon in the illustration here. It's a special illustration rare, really tough to pull card. Just outstanding card. Very tough to pull. From Paldean Fates, which kind of surprising that set is the one that ended up presenting us with the card of the era. And the prices on these cards are going skyrocketing because I think a lot of people are determining that this is the card to own from the Scarlet and Violet era. And it was a very popular era, so to be crowned the card of that era, it's pretty big bump. I mean, Moonbreon earned that crown in Sword and Shield, another very popular era of Pokemon. So the Bubble Mew, and again, a lot of people are saying this, and it is true. If a card has a nickname, it's going to be very well known and have a very strong following. The Bubble Mew does, the Moonbreon, these are cards that have their own nicknames. I believe some sort of that for sure. I mean, you say Bubble Mew, people know exactly what card you're talking about, and this is it. So, guys, what do you think? Is the Bubble Mew the top dog card from the most collectible card from the entire Scarlet and Violet era? Will this card define that entire era of Pokemon? Man, that art is just stunning. I've never seen it in hand, so I've been really enjoying this card today. Even in this terrible Beckett slab. Beckett. I know a lot of people like having this inner sleeve inside there, but it does not make it as easy to enjoy the card, because it's kind of like you're looking through a cloudy, and it's not like a super clear sleeve that they use on those. But it is what it is. It's the Beckett way. Someday I'll probably end up cracking this out and send it to PSA, because I think it could get a 10. I mean, the two things that I most struggle with, it has, and that is the centering and the corners are 9.5s. I do like that it has subgrades. I will give Beckett their due for that. But anyway, back to the subject at hand, is the Bubble Mew. Is it the greatest card of the Scarlet and Violet era? Is that the card people are going to always want to collect from that era? What do you think? All right, thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more videos later.